two flagship iPhone 17 models will be the first high-end iPhones to sport an aluminum frame since the division of the iPhone lineup into Pro and non-Pro versions. In recent years, lower-end iPhone models such as the iPhone SE and iPhone 16 have had aluminum frames. Until the advent of the iPhone 15 Pro, high-end iPhone models featured stainless steel frames. Now, the high-end iPhones feature titanium chassis, a development that was promoted as one of the primary advancements of the iPhone 15 Pro. With the release of the iPhone 17 series, Apple is apparently intending to bring the complete selection of smartphones back to aluminum. Apple apparently considering a significant design overhaul for the iPhone 17 series. If the speculations turn true, the iPhone 17 Pro will look like a Pixel 9 Pro knockoff, which Samsung and Galaxy lovers won't stop enjoying ever. Since the iPhone 11 series, Apple has started putting a rectangular camera island on the rear. With the iPhone 16 series, the manufacturer has transformed that island to look like a vertical pill due to dual camera sensor design. That is according to the report. Apple wants to dramatically overhaul the design of the gadgets. In addition, the flagship versions will be the first high-end iPhones with an aluminum frame, since the range was divided between Pro and non-Pro models. In recent years, aluminum bezels have been employed exclusively in basic models, such as the iPhone SE and iPhone 16. Until the launching of the iPhone 15 Pro, top-of-the-line iPhones had stainless steel bezels. Now, high-end iPhones have titanium bodies. Apple promoted this adjustment as one of the primary enhancements to the iPhone 15 Pro. A fresh source suggests that with the release of the iPhone 17 line, Apple wants to revert the entire range of handsets to an aluminum body. The top half of the iPhone 17 Pro's back will be composed of metal and have a rectangular cutout for the camera, while the bottom half will be glass to facilitate wireless charging. And possibly the most significant is a transition to aluminum instead of titanium. It's not a full step backwards. Earlier Pro models were stainless steel, not aluminum, but it's still a major difference. And it's part of what appears to be a substantial revision of the iPhone Pro and Pro Max's design. The camera bump will be rectangular and constructed of metal, and it will reportedly be larger than the one in the existing models. How large we don't yet know, but given the large size of the present camera bump, it's certainly going to take up a lot of space. More usage of aluminium rather than glass could be to lower the weight of the iPhone down, as glass is a heavier material, and the use of aluminium rather than titanium could be for numerous factors. Cost is a key one, of course. Aluminium is cheaper, but titanium is harder to color, and it can also be more difficult to process since it's more dense. That density implies it's heavier too. I imagine if Apple were intending to go back to stainless steel for the Pro and Pro Max, it might be a concern for some. Steel is pretty weighty. But I suppose that for most of us, the difference between titanium and aluminium isn't a deal breaker. Both are lightweight enough. Titanium is obviously harder, but the weak spot of any iPhone isn't the frame, it's the glass on the front. Samsung and Sammy supporters are watching this drama unfold and chuckling at the irony. The corporation continues to develop in its smartphone area. The Galaxy S25 Ultra is all poised to usher in a new era of elegance and beast performance combined. Also, the new iPhone 17 series is set to have a huge horizontal camera island on the top of the backplate. It might boast 3 camera sensors one by one, while the LED flash and LiDAR sensor would be positioned beside. In this way, Apple participated in the presentation by watching the audience's reaction to assess how people will respond when they see this under the name iPhone. The design is straightforward and appears like the same Pixel, so I'm convinced that people will want to test it on the iPhone to grasp what Android is and how it functions in general. For instance, this phone is generally reasonable for a highly popular phone that yet maintains a flagship with artificial intelligence functions. Apple should also design its own processor for 5G networks, which will be implemented there. The only 2 things about the era that I detest are that the cover is so thick that there will be a little battery, and that it will be difficult to foresee how long the iPhone 17 will last. However, there is still a chance that, due to the same thickness of the case, there won't be a SIM tray, meaning that there won't be any genuine SIM cards that you can put into the phone because of the thickness. The reality is that the SIM tray won't fit there since the shell is so thin, and there will only be one speaker because there won't be many. In other words, the device is quite controversial and unclear for whom, hence, in my opinion, the iPhone should be a bit thicker but have a larger battery to last a little longer. It won't be physically in the case or shoved by the thin casing, as we were shown on the concept. Generally speaking, but this phone allows you to write a comment with your opinions. I honestly don't understand, and I'm not sure who he will ultimately touch. The iPhone needs a redesign for a long time, thus I hope that the drawing of the cameras was merely an audience test, and that there won't be any modifications done to the camera but not in this line. However, we will discover a metal case with microscopic glass inserts, which will bring new sensations from the device because, as it can be stated, the redesign will partially provide new sensations. This proposal does not allude to how the iPhone 17's lines will seem, rather, we wanted a revamp, so there is something to talk about immediately. This is a block of chambers. Instead of being made of glass, it is now formed of metal and squeezed out of a solid piece of aluminum. It should look fascinating. How would the camera stand if the chamber's block was forced out of the metal? It will look very spectacular. The panel behind is formed of glass, and if that occurs, I hope Apple honestly picks the color of the glass from the cover to choose a certain device design. Glass is important for wireless charging and to lighten the design because if the back panel is stitched in metal, it would look like I would want to add some accent features to the rear cover of the iPhone 6 Plus. The iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max are both speculated to include an enhanced 12 GB RAM, first anticipated to be restricted to the Pro Max model. This boost is supposed to enhance multitasking and the performance of Apple Intelligence features. In comparison, all four iPhone 16 models come with 8 GB RAM, making the boost a considerable improvement for the iPhone 17 Pro lineup. The additional memory should give smoother performance and better support for sophisticated features. The iPhone 17 lineup is likely to offer a big boost with a 24-megapixel front-facing camera across all models, doubling the resolution of the 12-megapixel camera featured on the iPhone 16 series. Additionally, the iPhone 17 Pro models are speculated to contain an enhanced 48-megapixel telephoto camera, a huge advance above the 12-megapixel telephoto camera on the iPhone 16 Pro models. These changes seek to give higher image quality and enhanced photographic capabilities for both front and back cameras. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is reported to sport a substantially smaller dynamic island, because to Apple integrating a metal lens into the Face ID system. This design adjustment is believed to boost the device's screen-to-body ratio. While all the above enhancements are quite exciting, you must keep in mind that these are speculated specifications and Apple is yet to formally disclose these features. Hence, we suggest you to take it with a pinch of salt. The iPhone line's production 17 is September 25th, which is excellent news for the pricing. The ear's price shouldn't go up here, so that 17 is roughly 17 Pro Max. We see the price of the 17th period in front of us. It should be less than what it presently costs because the manufacturer is cheaper and the phone itself is thinner. So there are plainly less than there are hypotheses. There are more questions than answers concerning the iPhone 17 Air or Slim, as they will call it. We have obtained the main idea of the makeover, so please let us know in the comments what you think. I would be glad to talk to you. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.